right, to backtrack, looking at gold, I know Andres has been keeping an eye on gold as well, and overall I've been bullish. You just zoom out on the monthly time frame, not even really pointing out structure points. Price has been bullish. Most recent be high to low, new high, maybe get a pullback and go on higher, but overall, like I said, still bullish. The issue is when you go down to maybe the weekly time frame, you can kind of see how price is in this box or consolidation, just like this. This could be some form of accumulation where price sweeps out sell side liquidity and then wants to go on higher from here. But as of right now, price is still in this box. If you guys want to keep it very simple, you could technically be looking to buy low and sell high, something like this, which is perfectly fine. I would initially especially mark this zone just like that, but to kind of keep things simple, this is a good idea to have. So technically price sold off from here. So do you want to keep selling and maybe buy somewhere down here? Or do you want to see price maybe buy somewhere here and then go on higher? So overall, still been bullish. Want to see price attack these equal highs. Price just made a third equal high. So going into this market, you understand that price is in consolidation. Ultimately, there really is no true structure. It would be nice if price did make a new high, then you have this structure low to structure high to kind of work with this range, but you really don't. So kind of trade what you can get in the moment. And for a while now, I have been still bullish, and I've been kind of working within this immediate price action from this low to this high. So I know I've been trying to draw a fib from this low to high. I'll go ahead and delete this. Break it down to like the 4 hour. So price has gone into discount, and even for me for a while, technically structure, H4 structure, I'd say, broke here. And price did make a pretty good run to the upside, but as you can see, price has came all the way down here. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say we had this as a strong low to a weak high. We're looking for price to come in here somewhere and then obviously make new highs, but price has not done that. I think this looks cleaner on the daily time frame. Let me see. Maybe the weekly. Yeah, the weekly looks a little better. So you have that internal breaker structure. I know Bodhi, we were talking about that yesterday, so this is more like internal breaker structure, or also known as a change of character. So we were looking for this low to be protected, come on lower, and then go on higher. Prices in discount, but technically prices dipping a little bit lower. This doesn't invalidate the bullish bias because overall, on the monthly time frame, we are bullish, but price could just be coming somewhere down here to mitigate the extreme order block within relative to this low to high. Maybe come down here and then make a move to the upside. So at one point I was bullish to see this low being protected, but price has broken lower. So overall I'm bullish, but trading from an intraday perspective, if I go down to the 4 hour, I would be bearish. I would not be looking to go bullish. Price broke this low once again. And then from here, you can kind of see how price has just been going down. So until H4 switches bullish, I wouldn't even be attempting to buy it. Overall, I do want to see it go bullish, but as of right now, look for sells. So from here, if I go down to the H1 time frame, coming into the week, again, price broke this low, so I have no reason to be looking for buys at this point. But in this case, based off structure, I have a structure high to a structure low, structure high to a structure low. All right, structure high to low. And then if I use my fib, actually, well, yeah, if I use my fib, I have a high to a low here. Ultimately, if I want to see price fall during this day before, let's pretend price action isn't here just yet. Price is basically down here in discount. I, at this point, want to see price come up in premium as it did and then go on down. So if I'm anticipating price to give me a pullback or a retracement up into premium, that means I can potentially look for buys up into that area. So during this day, that's what I had in mind. This was going to be a retracement. I was overall bearish on this specific time frame. Price broke this strong low that I thought was a strong low, so this told me I was bearish. And during this day, again, some days I will take the continuation trade. took the continuation. Some days I will take the continuation trade, and some days I will take what I can get in the market at that specific time, depending on how big the risk reward is. So in this case, this is a retracement trade. I don't typically recommend to go for retracement trades, but this is an example where obviously it's not always going to be picture perfect. You got to take the trade in the moment. It may not go far. So if you are taking this trade, I know I haven't broke it down just yet, but if you take this buy, you really should not be anticipating price to make new highs and make a break of structure. You know, you never know how far the tracing will be, so that's why my take profit was somewhere down here, but that's still valid enough to catch a nice trade for the day. So from here, if I go down to the 15-minute time frame, essentially based off the 15-minute time frame, at a 15-minute high down to a 15-minute low, price break structure. This is after Frankfurt opening of London, which is the time I trade. We broke above Asia's highs, which is that liquidity target that usually Frankfurt or London attacks. Again, it doesn't have to be Frankfurt or London, but typically that's what happens. So from here, I have a structure low to a structure high. I always want to plot my two POIs. I always have an extreme. I always have a continuation. In this case, I don't plot the extreme. My extreme is going to be somewhere down here. But for now, again, I didn't use that. I like this continuation. The reason why I like this one is because price sweeps out sell side liquidity before making new highs. So I knew this was an opportunity for an entry. This is my order block from this sell to buy move. If you can't see it, this boom, 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 sell to buy, and then price comes down into this area. So from here, I go down to the 1 minute to see if I can find some type of entry. And this is where this screenshot comes into play. Essentially here, this isn't a ideal setup that you want to see, but I'll tell you how I logically thought this one out. So typically when you want to take an entry, in a perfect scenario, you would want to see, at least for me, my entries usually typically come from the M1 time frame, a structure high down to a structure low, price breaks structure, price creates some form of liquidity here, sweeps it, comes into the extreme, makes a new higher low, and then makes a new higher high. And this right here would be the entry off of the M1 time frame that you'd be looking for. So I still have my order block and I still have that sweep of liquidity. For sure, absolutely want to see that sweep of liquidity coming into your POI. So breaking it down here, if you notice, delete this for now, let's see. On the M1 time frame, you could force this a bit. It looks better like on the 30 second. Structure high down to a structure low, price break structure here. So now you have this structure low up to structure high. You could take a buy off of here. Price sweeps out 30-second liquidity. You could have this order block here. But if you notice, if you do take this buy, what are you buying near? You're basically buying near all this liquidity. And that's why price comes down and sweeps this liquidity. But even at the same time, price even makes more liquidity from this low across this way, pretty much. So like I said, if you're buying and price starts to form equal lows in this case, which is liquidity, I'm not saying that this trade will not work out. It's most likely you are going to be part of liquidity. I know I've talked about it before, but to briefly go over it, the price does this, and you think it's a break of structure, and you buy down here. You have to remember that technically at this point, I wouldn't be too worried, but you basically make some equal lows right here. Meaning price typically doesn't just do this off one rip, take out the equal lows, and then go on higher. But if you notice, price does this. Starts moving sideways. It's not moving the direction you want. And at the same time, forming liquidity. Most likely, price will use this as the liquidity, as the inducement, the manipulation, in accumulation before moving on to the upside. So you're basically buying too early. In the moment, you don't see any of this, but as price plays out, you start to see it. So at times like that, either get out of the trade, minimize your risk, move your stop loss to break even, whatever you can, or wait it out and see what comes of it. So me personally, I did not enter off of this 30-second move. I was on the 1 minute, but as you can see on the 30-second, somebody could maybe force this move. But going back to the 1 minute, I did not just enter yet, but I did see that accumulation process start to form. And for me personally, once price gave me this little tick underneath all the liquidity, I took this as, okay, price actually took out the liquidity I was looking for. Price is overall still in my higher time frame order block right here. And I took this very small change of character from this high down to this low. Price broke above. And then I used this order block mitigation with the rejection candle to enter the market. And then from here, I was obviously targeting a new high. And this gave me that little we'll call it 1 to 6, 1 to 5 RR trade. Again, I could have held on to this more and this could have produced something bigger. But at the same time, since this is a retracement trade, I don't know how far price is willing or wanting to go. Price made my new high. This is my low to high. Price makes a new high. It's a retracement trade. I take my pips and I call it a day.